This show is presented by the 323 Network. You can watch all your favorite 323 friends and shows on the 323 Network YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms at 323read, and support us as we continue to grow at patreon.com/323read. That's 323REID. The Super Bowl is here, and it's time to get hyped.
Oh, Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe. Thank you, baby. Thank you. You making blood come from my damn mouth. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You gotta make blood come to the mouth. You can't just smack me and don't hit me hard. That's bullshit. When you hit a motherfucker, you hit that motherfucker. Let's kick their ass, motherfucker. Kick their ass. Let's go. Yeah.
But do you need a little help translating the universal language known as football?
Pie de Cody Parkey. 43 yardas. El snap. Le mete el pie. Distancia, dirección. Le dio el poste. ¡No! ¡Falló! ¡Oh! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡Los Eagles se van con la victoria! ¡Ay, papá! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡Chicago! ¡Chicago!
A game that'll make you go from this.
We're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
To this.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough. You know, you don't want that for them. So, but we'll be better for it, you know.
Well, forget analysts like Michael Irvin.
Oh my God, this is what's wrong with today. The young ladies today, they're not learning from mom how to cook. We're losing recipes, and now we're going to lose Peyton Manning's knowledge.
Or the Manning brothers.
Let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.
When you can have analysis like this. That's where go argue with Dylan on the YouTube chats. It's shit week, everybody.
Oh, the flag came up for Dylan.
Yeah. Look, that's what Dylan does. That's all Dylan deserves.
We might actually know where they play.
And the Kelseys. I'm tired of Jason and Travis Kelce blowing up my damn TikTok feed.
I would rather have Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach got him.
Well, perfect timing.
Was like, shut up.
How to at the 323.
Shit.
So,
I need that fidget with.
Only on the 323. I'm your host, Reed Murphy, welcoming you to 5 epic days of our best contributors, analysis, and shenanigans, leading you to the big game. 5 days that can only be known as
Super Week.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is another super week, another year in, and somehow, without a doubt, against all doubts, we are starting with Mama Murphy again. Cynthia Murphy is back representing her Chiefs.
Go Chiefs!
Who somehow, against all odds, have made it back to the Super Bowl, even though we doubted them all year. I doubted them all year. I don't know if you doubted them.
Never did. All you doubters and haters, we're going to the show.
You're really embracing the poppy route, from the poppy roll from Highly Questionable.
Yes, I'm the female poppy.
You can get you a banana if you want to talk on the banana phone. Just like him.
I don't think I'm going to go that far. But...
No, congrats on your Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl
thank you,
somehow.
Sir. Thank you.
It's better than my team that you abandoned me with, so.
I had to for my mental health.
Well, now I feel bad interrogating you if it's for the mental health. Because I was going to say, you're newer to the Chiefs, but whenever I tell somebody that you're a bandwagon Chiefs fan, it's kind of like an asterisk on the bandwagon because you got in the year that they went to the Super Bowl. It wasn't after they made the Super Bowl. You went in like on that year that Patrick Mahomes started, like right before he started is when you became a Chiefs fan.
Right. But really, it just so happens that way. I fell in love with the Chiefs after watching. I never watched their game before. And I watched one game, and Patrick Mahomes was so fantastic. I just fell in love with the whole team at that point. It didn't matter whether they were going to the Super Bowl or not. You know, that just happened to be a bonus for me.
So again, your team before that was the Washington football team, the Redskins at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what was the love that was lost with that team? And would you consider coming back? There are a lot of fans that rightfully, justifiably left the team to become other fans because they couldn't stand Dan Snyder or any of that culture that was around the team anymore. So and now they're starting to slowly come back. Would you ever consider becoming a Washington fan again?
No.
Okay.
No. Never.
Not even with new ownership?
No, not the new ownership. Because
what about when Patrick Mahomes retires?
Well, I don't have to think about that for a long time. But I'll probably stay a Chiefs fan, probably.
We'd have to stamp this, because what if Mahomes went to like Washington? What if he all of a sudden some deal happened and he became a Washington Commander?
Well,
then we couldn't let you back.
Yeah, that would be tough, because I would probably want to come back because of Mahomes, but I can understand if fans are upset about that, because I bailed on them long ago.
Well, okay, moving from that and just into this season as a whole, was there had to be a doubt for you at some point, right, that Kansas City couldn't make it this far? I mean, you saw like how that opening game went. Like you were all hyped. You were hyped. You had the wings and the pizza and everything for that opening night game against the Detroit Lions, and then you lost to the Lions. And this is before they became America's sweetheart.
Right.
Was there ever a doubt this season?
I think there was a doubt this season with every loss that they had. I was wondering, they just didn't. They were missing a lot of key players, especially Tyreek Hill, and that did make a difference. And but they did regroup though, and I think this was probably the best way to win, because they had something to prove. People were saying they're not the same. They're not going to get there this year. And so for all those naysayers out there, look at where they are now. So I'm proud of them.
All the naysayers. And look what you went through to get here. You got past, I mean, you didn't really have to worry about Joe Burrow, but you famously said F you to Joe Burrow in the past.
Yes, I sure have.
You said it about Josh Allen.
Yes.
And you got past him. Mm-hmm. And now look who you're facing. The person that last year, for whatever, and he wasn't even in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
It was just about unprompted that you just completely took out Brock Purdy for injuring his shoulder.
Yes.
And said it was a fake injury.
Yeah, I remember
You said he was scared and he faked it.
Yeah.
You said he was overrated already. It was his first year. He's a Mr. Irrelevant who was the last pick in an NFL draft.
Yes.
And it's a movie-like story. He's become like a darling for people, but you hate him.
I do.
You have beef with Brock Purdy.
It's just a bunch. He's one of those fly-by-night quarterbacks. He's got, he's good right now, but is he going to be that good next year? Is he going to be able to sustain that? And is he going to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes? Because Patrick Mahomes is good in the big games. He keeps us cool. I don't think Purdy's ready for the show yet. Not even this time. I hope he doesn't hurt himself this time, but I think he's going to it's going to be so overwhelming. You're going to see the side of him that isn't so good. And you're going to see the mistakes he's going to make. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel that way. If Patrick Mahomes gets to the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes is going to win the Super Bowl.
Except that time he didn't.
Yeah, except that one time.
Right.
But they've overcome that and they've gone on. And I want to see him win 7 Super Bowl rings.
7?
Yes, because that's more than is that more than what Tom Brady has?
No, I think Brady has 7.
Oh, well,
So
8 then.
Okay.
I need him to win 8.
So what happens, though, if Purdy wins the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm going to be really mad and disappointed, and I'll probably get drunk and pass out. So but I'm hoping I won't have to do that.
But does the mentality change? Because then he'll have done it in the big game. Then what else does he have to do for you?
To win me over?
Yeah.
He'll never win me over,
There's nothing he can do. What if he won 8 Super Bowls?
Well, more power to him, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Overrated?
Yep, still overrated.
Was Tom Brady overrated?
No, because Tom Brady proved himself. This little rookie, Purdy, young dude, he hasn't been in the battles as much. He's got a lot to learn. And, losing games helps you learn sometimes. And I just don't think he's ready again for what's going to happen on, Super Bowl Sunday. I don't think it's going to be so overwhelming,
Do you want to say to Brock Purdy, you want to add him to the list of what you've said to Joe Burrow and Josh Allen? Do you want to tell Brock Purdy exactly what you told them?
Yes. I want to just tell you, you're not as good as Patrick Mahomes. You will never be as good as Patrick Mahomes. And sorry, but there's only one Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say F you.
Yeah. Oh, and that too. Fuck you, Purdy. That too.
What a time. So, going back to your team.
Yes.
And the Chiefs, they've been the national story, not just of football, not just of sports, but of just media and pop culture altogether because of your tight end, Travis Kelce, who is now the most popular player in the NFL.
Yes.
By far, he's even more popular than that guy, Mahomes.
Yes.
And it's because of who he's dating.
Yes, of Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Are you a Taylor Swift fan now because you're a Chiefs fan and you have to it's like a cousin or like a sibling-in-law?
Yeah, I've accepted her. I'm not in love with her, but if she brings out the best in him as far as the game, I'm all for the relationship.
Have you had a problem with the focus on Taylor Swift when it comes to these Chiefs games?
Yes, I think it's really kind of taken away from the team's popularity as a whole. That people are too focused on Kelsey's relationship with her, and they should be thinking more about what's going on the field. But if they keep putting the camera on her, it's distracting.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Mm-hmm. Well, do you hope that he proposes?
No, I don't see that.
You think that she's going to break his heart?
Yeah, I don't think and I'm not trying to be morbid or anything, but I don't think they're going to be together this time next year. I think it's going to be like one of her typical relationships. She's all in, and then next thing you know, something's happened, and she's writing a song about her love loss. So we'll see if it's a real relationship. I'm on the fence about it.
It'll be a good song, no matter what.
The NFL, I'm sure, loves her because her fans have come over to the Chiefs, and they're excited. I think the NFL likes that sudden rise in popularity because of her fans. So yeah.
All right. Well, something that we wanted to get into. And I know this was a request out because people wanted to see exactly where a certain quarterback might rank in these kind of questions. Last year we asked you, I think it was sexiest quarterbacks
Yes.
in the NFL. Jalen Hurts, who was in the Super Bowl last year, he was the one that made it in there.
Yes.
This year, we just want to find out who your top 5 quarterbacks of all time are.
Okay.
Everything, because you've been an unbiased, long-time NFL fan, and as an unbiased NFL fan and football fan, been watching football for a long time.
Yes.
Let me just, if this Chiefs team wins, right?
Yes.
This will be Patrick Mahomes' 3rd Super Bowl.
Yes.
In about, I think, 7 years in the league.
Yes.
Would this be all of a sudden one of the great dynasties in NFL history? Would you consider them that when you look back at all the teams that you've seen, like the Cowboys and Steelers and that 49ers, Joe Montana team, and of course the Patriots dynasty of what is it, 6 Super Bowls with Brady and Belichick? Would this team all of a sudden be in there for you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
What is the greatest dynasty team that you've seen?
Well, I think it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, back in the Lynn Swan, Terry Bradshaw days. Yeah, my cousin, I used to call him because, we may be related. The last name, SWANN, that's my maiden name, of course. So who knows? Somewhere along the line, I think we're related. But yes, I think that was, and I was a big Steelers fan back then too. I remember, and definitely, yes.
Well, let's just go ahead and get into the top 5 now. It's a staple of the show. So top 5 quarterbacks of all time, according to Mama Murphy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the 323's Top 5.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Yes, this is the 323 top 5 quarterbacks of all time, according to Mama Cynthia Murphy. Mom, we're going to start at number 5 like we always do. These are all-time quarterbacks, unbiased. Obviously, you're an unbiased fan.
Okay.
You're an NFL historian. There's obviously no bias. Last year's was sexiest quarterbacks of all time. Jalen Hurts was number 1 on that list. Couldn't possibly be on the all-time list. So kick it off with number 5. Who do you got?
Well, actually, I have him at number 5 on my list. I think he did some remarkable things this season, and I think give him maybe 1 or 2 more seasons. He may win another Super Bowl. He got a bit of a.
He got kind of wrecked in that last one, but he played great last year, even though they lost.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. They lost, but he's taken his little bumps and scrapes, and I think that he's really going to be a contender in the future. So.
There was a stat that I saw because Jalen Hurts went to Alabama, but he finished his college career at Oklahoma. And the legacy of like Alabama, and they're like in the big shebang of college football every year. In the history of the Super Bowl, a player from Alabama who finished their college football career at Alabama never has scored in the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
They're one of like the few schools to never do it, even though they've put out just about as many players into the NFL as anybody.
Wow.
Never has one scored a touchdown.
That's interesting. Wow.
That's for Scott.
Something.
College Shame Day on the 323 Network.
Yes.
Number 4, Mom.
Okay, Doug Williams. Some of you youngsters may not remember him as well as I do, but you've heard of him. He was, first of all, he was the first Black quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl. And it was 1988 that he won the Super Bowl. And I mean, it was just like, in this area, it was just like Christmas and 4th of July and New Year's all in one. everything was red and gold all over town. We had a parade. The government let you go on administrative leaves if you wanted to go to the parade. I mean, it was, and I was so into into Washington at the time. And I was so proud of them. And then, you know, I don't know what happened. The rest is history. But they were really some glorious moments. And I'll never forget when Doug Williams did the Disney World commercial. And he said he's going to Disney World. I'll never forget that. Everybody was just, you know, freaking out about it. It was it was just great. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that excitement.
And famously, rest in peace to Carl Weathers, the great actor from, you know, he played Apollo Creed, Predator, all those great movies, Mandalorian, but also was a football player.
Yeah.
Played for the Raiders and famously played Doug Williams
on
Saturday Night Live.
He sure did. So, yeah, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. You were a good one.
All right, number 3, who do you got?
Okay, for number 3, I have Randall Cunningham of the Philadelphia Eagles, which he played most of his career with, his 16-season career with. He was very mobile and, you know, like Reed was saying, he probably started the mobile quarterback thing, you know, and Philadelphia loved him. And Reed and I were talking earlier about why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Why? I believe he accomplished enough to be there, but we don't really know, because he was 4th in NFL rushing yards and a 4-time Pro Bowler. So why is he not there?
And he won MVP.
Yes, and he won MVP.
Okay, that's a good selection. I like that. I've been a big Randall Cunningham fan.
Yes.
Even though I'm a Washington fan, I've always liked the history of Randall Cunningham, so I can get down with that.
Yeah, he's a class act guy. He really is.
I think we're starting to see a trend with these quarterbacks. Let's see who number 2 is.
Number 2 is Lamar Jackson.
All right, that sounds right.
I love Lamar Jackson. This year, I definitely wanted Mahomes to go to the show, but I love Lamar. He's my second favorite. So he's the one quarterback that if he had beat Patrick Mahomes, I wouldn't have had any hard feelings, really. I would have been disappointed, of course, but if it was Lamar, that's fine with me. Yeah, you know, he's a great guy. And I don't even have to talk about his stats. You know what he can do on the field. I've seen him do these miracle plays where he just flips over people to get into the end zone. So, yeah, I think he deserved it, you know, just as much as Mahomes did this year, you know, but unfortunately only one team can go from that division, so, you know.
And he's on the way towards winning his second MVP
ever,
which is...
And I think he more than deserves
And that's just about a lock for Hall of Fame. There is no quarterback that's won MVP twice that's never made the Hall of Fame, even without a Super Bowl. So.
Yes, I have much respect for him, and I'm so glad that he's finally getting paid, and Baltimore would have been idiots to let him go, because, I mean, the other teams would have been like vultures. Can you imagine?
They should have been.
You know, Washington would have been swarming him, and yeah, you know, if they had to let him go, that would have been the worst mistake of their life. But we're glad that Lamar got to stay, and he got what he wanted, and I wish him all the best, you know.
And the number 1 quarterback of all time, according to Mama Murphy, is...
Patrick Mahomes. Do I have to say more? He is Mr. Magic. I mean, the thing I like about Patrick Mahomes is that he keeps such composure. Where does he get that old seasoned quarterback composure? And he's such a young guy. You know, he hasn't even been in the league that long. And just when you think, oh, okay, well, I don't know, they're going to win, the magic happens. When he gets the ball, he's going to get in that end zone some kind of way. So kudos to you, Patrick Mahomes. I don't really care for your wife, but you're But that's another episode.
So number 5, Jalen Hurts. Number 4, Doug Williams. Number 3, Randall Cunningham. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Happy Black History Month from the 323.
Yes. You see where I was going with that.
We got it. We got it. So that brings us to the biggest part of every Super Week show, which is picking the winner of the game. I think it's obvious who you're going to kick it off with, who you're going to kick Super Bowl week off with a win. But Super Bowl 58, who is going to win? The Kansas City Chiefs or the San Francisco 49ers?
The Kansas City Chiefs, for sure.
Yep. We knew that one. The more interesting question, I think, for you, and it's going to be like our main coverage of the halftime show this year, is going to be here with you. And Usher is the halftime show.
Okay.
You're very excited about this.
Oh, yes. I love me some Ursher.
I was a little mixed about it when they announced it, because I was trying to think, like, shouldn't this have been 20 years ago, 20 or 25 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we're here now. I'm excited now, having listened to, you know, been going through the old songs and the playlist. And he's got some new stuff out, too, that's pretty good.
I know. I just love
Summer Walker, Jump Cook.
Yeah, and I love Glue.
Yep, Glue.
And I mean, I have always been a big Usher fan. I'm so happy for him. And now the young people are, you know, really getting into him. So he's got a new fan base, you know, right now. So I think it's great that he's going to be able to, you know, demonstrate why he should be entertaining in the Super Bowl.
Is there anybody that you would have rather have seen over Usher? I had like a couple. I know Taylor Swift was the obvious pick by the NFL. She had to turn it down. She's playing in Japan. But honestly, I wouldn't have really cared about a Taylor Swift Super Bowl halftime show. I like an Usher one better. But there are a couple people for me. Is there anybody you would have rather seen?
Well, I know he's already been in a halftime show, but I love Bruno Mars.
Yeah, he's been in two now, but he can still. Silk Sonic.
Right. So. I would love to see Silk Sonic come back. And, you know, of course, we've already had Beyonce. But
Drake isn't somebody that we've never had.
Oh, that's right. But, you know, Drake is so popular right now. I don't think he really would. It would benefit the big artists like him.
That's true. You don't get paid for it.
Right.
You have to
he's
pay
already selling his music big time.
This is kind of perfect for Usher. What songs would you want to see Usher bring out of the vault
to
do for this? Like what are the necessities for this Super Bowl? Because he's got a crazy list.
He's got to do that song, you know.
Lil Jon and Ludacris.
Yes. And what's the one that a new relationship? I like that one. You know, the one that he says, "You make me want to be in a new relationship." Yeah.
Relationship.
Yeah, that one.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah. I love that. Any of his music that he wants to sing.
He's got a great list of songs that you don't know the title to.
The playlist is, you know, everybody after you watch this podcast, you should go and tell your Alexa to play Usher music. And you're just going to be grooving on that, you know. So
that's what this show is going to put Usher back on the map, not the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Show. It's going to be this show right here between us.
So people, listen to your Usher music.
You heard her. You heard her on the Usher music. You heard her on the Chiefs. You heard her on Brock Purdy. Fuck you, Brock Purdy.
Yes, fuck you, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Chiefs.
Thank you, Mama Murphy, for being here once again.
Oh, thank you for having me, son. I love you.
Love you too.
He gets his greatness from his mom.
Happy Super Week, people.
Yeah, happy Super Week, people.